If your mind won't stop racing tonight, and the quiet of your room feels heavier than usual, this time is for you. If sleep feels far away, and your heart is carrying far too much from the day that has passed, I want you to know you've found a safe place to land. Welcome to this quiet space, this sanctuary for your soul. You have come here, most likely, because the day has been long, and the night ahead feels even longer. Your mind has become a stage, a whirlwind of thoughts, replaying conversations, dissecting moments, and casting anxious shadows on a tomorrow that hasn't even arrived. The pillow beneath your head, which should be a symbol of comfort, feels more like a witness to your restlessness, a silent partner in the relentless play your worries are performing. I want to whisper this truth into your heart before we even begin. You are not alone in this feeling. You are not the only one. So many of us, in the sacred stillness of the night, find ourselves wrestling with the deafening noise that echoes within. It is a shared human experience to feel this way, to lie awake while the world sleeps, feeling the full weight of it all. You have carried so much today, more than you might even realize. You've carried the unspoken weight of expectations from your boss, your family, your friends, and perhaps the heaviest of all, from yourself. You've carried the quiet sting of disappointments, the moments where things didn't go as planned, where you felt you fell short, and underneath it all, there has been that constant, silent hum of stress, a low-frequency vibration that has followed you from the morning alarm to the meeting room, from the kitchen table into this very bed. You have tried so hard to be strong, to be productive, to be the reliable one, to be everything to everyone. You've navigated the demands, solved the problems, and held it all together with a strength you have to keep borrowing from tomorrow. And now, at the end of it all, there is nothing left. You are simply tired. It's not just a physical exhaustion that a few hours of sleep can fix. It is a deep, soul-level tired, a weariness that has settled into the very marrow of your being. A tired that sleep itself seems unable to touch. So tonight, let's do something different. Let us not fight the stillness. Let's not wrestle with the quiet. Instead, let's enter into it together. Let this not be another hour of struggle, of tossing and turning, of fighting your own mind. Let this be an hour of surrender, a gentle, grace-filled surrender. You don't need to solve anything right now. The problems of tomorrow can wait for tomorrow's strength. You don't need to find all the answers that have been eluding you. Your only task here, in this protected moment, is to breathe and to listen, simply listen. Your only job is to allow these words of ancient comfort, words that have brought peace to worried hearts for thousands of years, to wash over you. Imagine them as a gentle stream of healing water, soothing the frayed edges of your heart, cooling the fever of your anxiety. Let's begin by inviting your body to join us in this surrender. Let your body begin to release the tension it has been holding onto so tightly all day. Feel the full weight of your head on the pillow. Give it permission to be heavy, to be fully supported. Notice if your jaw is clenched, and gently, consciously, let it go. Allow your shoulders, which have been carrying so much, to fall away from your ears. Let them drop. Let them be soft. Now, take a slow, deep breath in. filling your lungs not just with air, but with grace. And as you exhale, release the noise. Let out the sound, the tension, the worry, just for this moment. Let it go. Let's do that again. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling the cool air travel all the way down into your belly. Hold it for a count of 4. 3, 2, 1. And now exhale slowly, audibly, through your mouth, letting it all go. Tonight, we are going to walk together through a beautiful, ancient prayer. It's a song written by a heart that knew worry intimately, a heart that knew the crushing feeling of distress, that knew what it felt like to be misunderstood and under attack. But this same heart also discovered the secret to true, unshakable peace. This is Psalm 4. You don't need to know anything about its history or its author. You only need to be willing to receive its comfort. Let these words be a gentle hand on your forehead, a quiet whisper in the dark that says, "It's okay. You are safe. You can rest now." There is absolutely no pressure here. If you fall asleep in 5 minutes, that is a beautiful gift. If you listen all the way to the very end, that is a gift too. This time is for you. A divine appointment. A gift of peace from a God who loves you more than you can imagine. So get comfortable, settle in, and let us begin. Let the first words of this prayer become your own. A gentle knock on heaven's door. As you settle into the stillness, listen to this honest plea. It comes from a heart just like yours, a heart in need of comfort. Let these words become the prayer that you, yourself, are offering tonight. Listen. Answer me when I call to you. My righteous God, give me relief from my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. Let's just rest with that for a moment. Feel the raw, unfiltered honesty in those words. Answer me when I call. It is the simplest and yet the most profound prayer we can ever offer. It is the sound of a heart that has finally reached the end of its own strength, the end of its own resources. Perhaps that is where you are right now. In this quiet moment, you've called on your own resilience, and it feels depleted. You've called on your own intellect to solve the problems, and your mind just keeps spinning. You've called on your own strategies for coping, your own methods for calming down, and the line has gone quiet. You've run out of options. This verse is a holy permission slip. It gives you permission to stop trying so hard. It gives you permission to stop pretending you have it all under control. It gives you permission to simply call out, not with a loud shout, perhaps, but with the quiet turning of your heart toward the one who is always listening. Let's hear that first phrase again. Softly, answer me when I call to you. My righteous God. Notice how the writer, David, approaches God. He doesn't come with a resume, a list of his own merits or good deeds. He calls God his righteous God. He is appealing not to his own goodness, but to God's perfect, unwavering goodness. This is such a beautiful release for us. It means you do not have to be perfect to be heard. You do not have to have your life completely in order to call on him. You can come exactly as you are tonight, distressed, worried, exhausted, and weary, and appeal to his unfailing character. He is good, even when your circumstances are not. He is righteous and just. Even when the world feels so deeply unfair, your standing before Him tonight is not based on your performance this week, but on His unchanging, loving nature, and then, from that place of trust in God's character, the psalmist makes this beautiful, vulnerable request: "Give me relief from my distress." This is not an angry demand. It is the deep, guttural sigh of a soul that is exhausted from the struggle. The original Hebrew language for this phrase paints a powerful picture. It suggests being freed from a tight, narrow, constricting place. Does that feel familiar to you tonight? That tightness in your chest when anxiety rises, the narrow, suffocating confines of a looping, worried thought that you can't seem to escape, the feeling of being cornered by your fears, with no room to move, no room to breathe. This prayer is a holy acknowledgement of that very feeling. You are not crazy for feeling this way. You are not weak. You are human, and this prayer validates that experience. And from that place of acknowledgement, it makes a gentle request: lead me out. Lead me out of this narrow place and into a wider, more spacious place of peace. A place where my soul can breathe again. God is not afraid of your distress. He is not disappointed by it. He invites you to bring it to Him, to name it, to show Him exactly where it hurts. He wants to meet you in that tight, narrow place. Finally, the verse ends with this tender, humble plea: "Have mercy on me and hear my prayer." Mercy. What a grace-filled word. Mercy is not asking for what we have earned or what we deserve. It is asking for what we so desperately need: compassion, kindness, a gentle touch when we feel we deserve a harsh one. It's asking for undeserved grace. And what is the deepest need of a worried, sleepless heart? It is the need to be heard, to be truly, deeply heard. Not just the words you might be thinking, but the fear and exhaustion that lie behind them. Not just the surface-level request, but the deep ache of the soul that fuels it. God hears the prayer your heart cannot even find the words for. He hears the sighs. He sees the tears. He understands. Let's reframe this verse now as your own personal affirmation for this very moment. As you continue to breathe slowly and deeply, let this be the prayer of your heart. God, you see me. You see right where I am. You hear my call, even if it's just a silent whisper. I give you my distress, this tightness in my chest, this spinning in my mind. I hand it over to you, and I trust that you are listening. Have mercy on me. Hear the prayer my heart cannot find words for. Know this, dear one, you are not shouting into a void. You are not speaking to an empty room. You are whispering to a God who bends down from heaven to listen. Your call has been made, and your call has been heard. Now breathe and reflect on the source of these worries as we gently release them. As you rest in the profound comfort of knowing that you are heard, let us listen to the next words of the psalm. The writer, having made his plea to God, now turns his attention to the very sources of his pain. He begins to identify the things that are trying to steal his peace. Listen with a heart of grace as he asks, "How long will you people turn my glory into shame? How long will you love delusions and seek false gods?" At first, these words might sound a little harsh, a little confrontational. But let's listen from a different perspective. This is not the sound of angry judgment. This is the sound of a soul that is drawing a boundary. It's the sound of someone identifying the thieves that have been breaking in and stealing his peace, and he is calling them out. Let's look at that first question he asks. How long will you people turn my glory into shame? In David's life, this was likely about real people who were slandering him, trying to ruin his reputation. But for you and me, tonight, perhaps the people he's talking about are not outside of you at all. Perhaps the loudest voices are the ones inside your own head. Think about the chorus of voices that can rise up in the quiet of the night. There's the voice of the inner critic, the one that is always quick to tell you you're not good enough, you didn't do enough, you made a mistake. There's the voice of comparison, the one that relentlessly scrolls through the highlight reels of other people's lives on social media, and in doing so, it takes your own unique, God-given journey, your glory, and tries to turn it into a feeling of shame or inadequacy. There's the haunting voice of past failures, the one that tries to define your future by your mistakes, whispering that you'll never change, you'll never overcome. Your glory is the unique, unrepeatable light that God Himself placed within you. Your worth is not based on your accomplishments or your failures. It is inherent. It is sacred. It was given to you at your creation. But worry and anxiety are master thieves. They try to convince you that your glory is nothing. They try to shame you for needing to rest, for being imperfect, for not having it all figured out, for simply being human. Tonight, right now, we can gently acknowledge those voices. We can see them for what they are, imposters, and we can choose, quietly and firmly, not to partner with them any longer. And what of this next phrase? It's just as powerful. How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? A delusion is a false belief that we hold onto with all our might, even when it's hurting us. What delusions are stealing your sleep tonight? Could it be the delusion that you must control every outcome in your life? The false belief that if you just worry enough, think through every possible negative scenario, you can somehow prevent bad things from happening. Is it the delusion that your worth is measured by your salary, by your job title, or by the length of your to-do list? These are the modern-day false gods we are so often tempted to serve. They demand our attention, our energy, our peace. We sacrifice our sleep on the altar of productivity. We sacrifice our mental health on the altar of perfectionism. We sacrifice our inner calm on the altar of public opinion. But they are false. They are liars. They cannot deliver the security they promise. They cannot give you the deep, abiding peace that your soul truly craves. They only ask for more and more and more, and they will always leave you empty and exhausted. Tonight is a sacred opportunity to lovingly let them go. You don't have to engage them in a fight. That only gives them more power. Instead, you can just name them, see them for the delusions they are, and gently release them. Let this be your quiet declaration in the stillness of your room. I release the need for others' approval. I release the delusion that I must be perfect to be loved. My worth is not found in what I do, but in who God says I am. Tonight, I will not sacrifice my peace to the false god of worry. I choose truth. Breathe in God's truth about you, that you are loved, you are worthy, and as you exhale, breathe out the world's lies. You are gently turning away from the noise. You are turning away from the delusions that have held you captive. You are turning your face toward the truth. And in that simple, gentle turning, there is profound, liberating peace. Let these next words carry you deeper into rest, into a truth that anchors your soul. After acknowledging the noise and the lies, David doesn't dwell on them. He immediately speaks a powerful, foundational truth to his own heart. This is the truth that changes everything. Let this truth sink deep into your spirit now, like rain into thirsty ground. Listen to this declaration of security. Know that the Lord has set apart his faithful servant for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him. This single verse is the anchor for your soul tonight. It is the solid rock beneath the shifting sands of your feelings. Let's listen to that first part again, and let's really hear it. Know that the Lord has set apart his faithful servant for himself. Know this. This isn't a hopeful wish. It isn't a vague suggestion or a positive thought. It is a foundational, unshakable, capital T truth. To be set apart means that you are not just one face in a nameless crowd to God. You are known by name. He knows the sound of your voice. He knows the number of hairs on your head. You have been specifically, intentionally, and lovingly chosen by the Creator of the entire universe to be in a personal, intimate relationship with Him. It's as if He has drawn a golden circle of grace around you, marking you as His own. When the world makes you feel generic, replaceable, or invisible, this verse speaks a completely different reality. You are distinct. You are cherished. You belong to Him. Your life, with all its quirks and struggles, has a divine purpose and a sacred meaning that no amount of worldly trouble or personal anxiety can ever erase. The worries that loom so large in the darkness, the ones that make you feel so small and lost, are lying to you. The truth is, you are set apart for a divine purpose, and you are held securely in a divine, unending love. Think about what it means for something to be set apart for a special purpose. A favorite coffee cup that you use every morning that feels just right in your hands. A cherished book with a worn spine and underlined passages that has spoken to your soul. A seat that you save at the table for a loved one who is coming to visit. There is an intimacy, a specialness, an honor in being set apart. That is precisely how God sees you. He doesn't see you as a problem to be solved or a project to be fixed. He sees you as a treasure to be held, a beloved child to be cherished. And then, flowing directly from that incredible truth, comes this life-changing confirmation. The Lord hears when I call to Him. Do you feel the shift? Do you hear the change in confidence? In the very first verse, it was a desperate, heartfelt plea. Hear my prayer. But now, it has transformed into a confident, peaceful declaration. The Lord hears when I call. This is the beautiful fruit of faith. This is the peace that begins to settle in your soul when you stop focusing on your problems and start remembering who God is and who you are to Him. Your prayers, your whispered Worries in the middle of the night. Your silent tears that no one else sees, they do not hit the ceiling and dissolve into nothing. They are received. They are heard. They enter the very throne room of heaven. They are attended to by the one who sets you apart as his own, every single time. There is no if. There is no maybe. There is no sometimes. He hears. You let this truth become the solid bedrock of your rest tonight. Your identity is secure. Your connection to him is certain. Let's turn this verse into an affirmation of your true, unshakable identity. I am set apart by God. He knows me, and he has chosen me. I am known and cherished by him. I am not forgotten. I am not invisible. When I call, he hears me. My voice matters to him. I can rest completely in this truth. Feel the security of that. Let it wrap around you like the warmest, softest blanket. The world can be chaotic and loud. Your mind can be a storm. But you are held in a space of unshakable belonging. You are heard, always. As you rest in this beautiful truth, listen to this gentle instruction for the moments when turmoil rises. Within, the psalm now offers us some of the most practical and profound advice for a sleepless, worried night. It speaks directly to you, lying in your bed right now. Listen with an open and receptive heart. Tremble and do not sin. This phrase can sound a little intimidating, can't it? It can conjure up images of fear and judgment. But let's look at it through the lens of God's deep and abiding love for you. The word tremble here is not about being afraid of God in a punishing, cowering way. It's about awe. It's about standing in reverence of who he is. I want you to imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. The sheer scale of it, the colors, the depth it takes. Your breath away, or imagine you are standing in a field far away from the city lights, looking up at a night sky that is blanketed with 1 billion stars. You see the Milky Way splashed across the darkness. In that moment, there is a trembling, a sense of holy, all that makes your own problems, your own worries, feel rightly sized. You feel small, yes, but you also feel connected to something magnificent, something eternal. This is the kind of trembling the verse invites us into. It's a gentle invitation to shift your focus, to take your eyes off the bigness of your worries and to place them upon the overwhelming, breathtaking bigness and majesty of your God. When you are in awe of him, your anxiety has less power over you. It doesn't necessarily disappear, but it is put into its proper perspective. Your problem is big. Yes, it feels huge tonight. But your God, the one who painted that sunset, the one who knows every star by name, is infinitely, incomprehensibly bigger. So, tremble in awe, let the grandeur and glory of God quiet the noisy chatter of your fear. And then comes the second part of that phrase, and do not sin, in the context of a worried heart lying awake at night. What could this possibly mean? It's not a threat. It is a gentle, loving caution. It is God saying, my child, do not let your worry, your anger, or your fear lead you down a destructive path. Do not let your anxiety curdle into bitterness against me or against other people. Do not let your fear lead you into obsessive, frantic striving, trying to control everything and everyone. Do not let your anxiety become an idol that you serve with all of your thoughts and all of your energy, an idol that demands your constant attention. The sin here is the sin of forgetting who God is. It's the sin of letting fear, not faith, be the captain of your soul. It's a loving command to stop the downward spiral, to interrupt the pattern, to pause, to choose a different response, a response of awe and trust. And where are we invited to do this? The verse tells us exactly where. When you are on your beds, your bed, this very place where you are lying right now, the psalmist is telling us that this place is not meant to be a battleground for anxiety. It is not meant to be a torture chamber of worried thoughts. Your bed is meant to be an altar, a sacred space, a place for a holy and peaceful encounter with the living God. The psalmist is transforming your bedroom into a sanctuary. He is saying that this quiet, dark place, this place where you feel most vulnerable, is the perfect spot to practice this holy pause. Let's reframe this as a gentle intention for this very moment. In this very place, in this quiet moment, on my bed, I choose all over anxiety. I choose to remember the greatness of my God. I stand in reverence of a God who is bigger than all my fears. I will not let worry lead me tonight. I choose to make this bed a place of peace, a sanctuary of stillness. Your bed is not a place of torment tonight. It is holy ground. It is a meeting place, an appointment with the God who loves you and who is with you right now. And in this sacred space, you are invited to do one more thing, to look inward with grace. We continue with the second half of this beautiful, gentle instruction for the night, a guide for what to do right here, right now. Search your hearts and be still. Let's break this down, piece by piece. First, search your hearts. This is not a harsh command. This is not an interrogation. It is not a call to put yourself on trial, to judge yourself, or to make a mental list of all your failings and shortcomings. This is a gentle invitation to look inward with kindness and with grace. Imagine that you are taking a slow, quiet walk through the rooms of your own heart. But you are not alone. Imagine Jesus is walking right there beside you, holding a gentle lantern. He is not there to expose or to shame. He is there to bring his loving, healing light to the places that are hurting. You are not alone in this search. So, with him by your side, what do you find in your heart tonight? Let's walk through it gently. Perhaps in one room of your heart, there is a tight, tangled knot of anxiety about a presentation or a difficult conversation that is waiting for you tomorrow. You don't have to untie it right now. Your only job is to acknowledge it, to see it there with compassion, and to show it to the one who is with you. Perhaps in another room, there is a lingering sadness, a heavy feeling from a harsh word that was spoken today, or a disappointment that still stings. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to pretend it doesn't hurt. Just notice it. Let it be seen in the gentle light of his presence. Maybe there is a room that is filled with the frantic, chaotic energy of your to-do list, a rushing feeling of all that is undone, all that is still required of you. Gently and without any judgment, just look. Search your heart. What are the things that are truly troubling you tonight? You can name them quietly to yourself, or whisper them to God. I am worried about my family. I am afraid of failing. I feel so lonely tonight. I am exhausted. This act of searching is not meant to agitate you. It is not meant to stir you up. It is meant to do the opposite. It is meant to bring what is hiding in the darkness into the gentle, healing light of your own awareness and into the light of God's presence. You cannot heal what you do not acknowledge. You cannot release a burden that you are pretending not to hold. And after this gentle, grace-filled search, the command is breathtakingly simple, yet so profound. And be still. Still. This is the destination. This is the goal. After you have looked, after you have acknowledged the turmoil, the invitation is to stop striving, to stop analyzing, to stop trying to figure it all out, to just be still. Let's practice this stillness together right now. For the next moment, simply be. Your thoughts may still come. They may still float by, like clouds in the sky. That's perfectly okay. You don't have to climb aboard them. You don't have to follow them down their worried paths. Just notice them and gently return to the stillness. Return to the feeling of your breath. Return to the quiet. This stillness is a powerful act of trust. It is a silent declaration to God that you are leaving the contents of your heart in His loving and capable hands. You have searched, you have seen, you have acknowledged, and now you are releasing it all into His care. He can hold it. He can handle it. He is not overwhelmed by it. Let this be your prayer in the deep quiet. God, you see my heart. You see the worries, the fears, the sadness that I have found there. I now place them all in your hands, and I will be still, knowing that you are with me. I will be still from this place of stillness. Let us consider what it means to truly trust from the quiet, holy sanctuary of your still heart. The song gently guides us to our next step. It is an action, but it is an action of release, of letting go. Listen to this invitation. Offer the sacrifices of the righteous and trust in the Lord. When we hear that word sacrifice, our minds might immediately go to something ancient and distant, something that doesn't feel relevant to our lives. But the sacrifices that God desires from a worried heart tonight are deeply personal, and they are offered in the quiet of our own spirits. So what is the sacrifice that He might be asking of you tonight? As you lie here in your bed, perhaps it is the sacrifice of your need to understand everything, offering up all of your why questions. Why is this happening? Why won't this change? Why do I feel this way? These are the questions that have no easy answers, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning. The sacrifice is to take these questions, with all of their frustration and pain, and to lay them gently at His feet, trusting that even when you don't understand His plan, you can still trust His heart. Perhaps the sacrifice He is asking for is the sacrifice of your timeline, releasing your tight grip on how and when you think your prayers should be answered, how and when your life should change. It's the act of surrendering your agenda and trusting His perfect, divine timing. Or perhaps tonight, the greatest and most powerful sacrifice you can offer is your worry itself. To actively choose to take that heavy, suffocating burden of anxiety, that thing you have been carrying and nurturing and wrestling with all day, and to consciously, intentionally place it on his altar, to open your hands and let it go, to say, God, I cannot carry this anymore. I am giving it to you. It is yours now. That is a holy and beautiful sacrifice, and it is one that he is so pleased to receive. These are the sacrifices of the righteous, and we can make them not because we are perfect or have earned the right to. We are called righteous because our right standing with God is a gift, given to us through our faith in him. It's from that place of complete acceptance and security that we can feel safe enough to offer these precious, painful things up to him. And what is the direct result of making this offering? The verse tells us so clearly, and trust in the Lord. Trust is not something you can manufacture. You cannot simply grit your teeth and will yourself to trust more. It doesn't work that way, but you can perform the action that leads to trust. You can make the offering. Trust is the quiet, gentle peace that flows in to fill the space that your worry used to occupy. It's like cleaning out a cluttered room. Once the clutter is gone, there is space for peace, for light, for stillness. When you sacrifice your need for control, trust in his perfect sovereignty flows in. When you sacrifice your anxieties, trust in his loving care takes their place. The offering makes room for the trust. So tonight, what will you offer? What will you place on that altar? As you inhale, gather up a specific worry in your mind. See it clearly, and as you exhale, imagine yourself opening your hands and placing that worry gently on an altar before God. Watch the smoke of it rise up to him. Let this be the posture of your heart right now. Lord, tonight I offer you my fear of the future. I sacrifice my need to have all the answers. I lay down my anxieties about my work, my family, my health. I offer these to you as my sacrifice of righteousness, and in the space that is left, I choose to plant my trust in you. I trust you with my night. I trust you with my tomorrow. I trust you. You have given him your burdens. Your hands are now empty, and they are open to receive his peace as you rest with open hands. Let us join our hearts with a universal prayer. The psalmist, having settled his own heart, now looks around and sees that he is not alone in his feelings. He voices a question that has echoed through every generation of humanity. A question that you yourself have likely asked, perhaps even today. He says, many, Lord, are asking, who will show us any good? Just listen to the deep weariness in that question. Who will show us any good? It is the sound of a world that is hurting. It is the collective sigh of humanity. It is the cry of a heart that scans the news headlines, looks at its own circumstances, scrolls through social media, and sees only darkness, conflict, and lack. It's the voice of the overthinker, the one who cycles through every worst-case scenario and then asks in exhaustion, will anything ever go right? Is there any real, lasting hope to be found? This verse gives you profound permission to acknowledge that feeling. It is okay to feel discouraged by what you see around you and within you. It is a shared human experience, and you are not weak. For asking this question, David, a man described as being after God's own heart, knew this question intimately. He lived in a world of turmoil and danger. He understood this feeling to his core. But He does not stay there. He does not let that heavy, hopeless question hang in the air unanswered. He immediately pivots. He turns his face toward the only true source of all that is good. His prayer becomes our prayer tonight. He says, "Let the light of your face shine on us." This is so incredibly beautiful. The answer to the question, who will show us any good, is not a what, but a who. The ultimate good that our souls are longing for is not a change in our circumstances. It's not a better job, or a healed relationship, or a bigger bank account, or a perfect bill of health. The ultimate good is the presence of God Himself. The light of your face. What a tender and intimate image. I want you to imagine the face of someone you love dearly. Someone who makes you feel completely safe. Now imagine them turning toward you, their eyes lighting up, and a warm, genuine smile spreading across their face. Think of the warmth, the acceptance, the pure love that you feel in that gaze. This is the very image that the Bible uses to describe God's favor and His blessing. It is His loving, kind, gracious presence turned directly toward you. It is the light of His love, the light of His grace, the light of His peace, shining directly upon you, right here, right now, as you lie in your bed. This divine light doesn't necessarily erase all the darkness around you, but it illuminates your path right through it. It is a light that fear cannot extinguish. It is a warmth that anxiety cannot chill. It is a presence that loneliness cannot overcome. So when your weary heart cries out, "Will I ever see any good?" This is your answer. Look not for a change in scenery, but for the light of His face. For in His presence is the fullness of all that is good. Let this be your simple, powerful prayer tonight. Lord, the world feels dark sometimes, and my heart is weary. I don't know what tomorrow holds, and I'm scared. But tonight, I am not asking to see the future. I am asking to see you. Let the light of your face shine on me now. Be my good. Be my light. Be my peace. That light is shining on you now. Dear one, it is a reality. You can rest in its gentle, healing warmth. Now let us feel the effect of this light, a joy that the world cannot give. After asking for the light of God's face to shine upon him, David experiences a profound and immediate shift in his heart. A new feeling begins to bubble up from within, a feeling that is not dependent on his problems being solved or his enemies being defeated. Listen to this beautiful discovery he makes. You have filled my heart with greater joy than when there grain and new wine abound. Let's sit with that image for a moment. In David's time, and for much of human history, overflowing storehouses of grain and vats of new wine were the ultimate signs of prosperity. They meant a successful harvest. They meant security for the coming year. They meant celebration and abundance. In our modern world, it would be the equivalent of getting a huge promotion at work, closing a major deal, seeing your investments, or getting a clean bill of health from the doctor, or finally buying your dream home. It is that feeling of everything going right. It is the kind of happiness that the world relentlessly chases. But David makes a stunning declaration here. He says the joy that God gives is greater. This is a completely revolutionary idea for a worried mind. So often, We live our lives with a conditional clause attached to our peace. We tell ourselves, I will finally have peace when I will be able to relax, when I will feel joy, when we fill in the blank, when I get the job, when my relationship is fixed, when my health improves, when my anxiety finally goes away. We make our joy a hostage to our circumstances. But God offers a joy that is unconditional, a joy that is a direct result of His presence, the light of His face shining upon us. It is a joy that can be felt right in the middle of the struggle. It is a deep, internal wellspring of peace and contentment that is not affected by the external droughts of life. The joy of abundant grain and new wine, the joy of worldly success, is wonderful, but it is fleeting. It can be lost. A bad harvest can come. The economy can take a downturn. Our health can change in an instant. And if our joy is tied to those things, our joy is gone. But the joy that comes from the light of God's face is secure. It cannot be taken from you. It is a joy of the heart, not of the harvest. It is a gift from God, not an achievement you have to earn. It is a quiet, steady, peaceful assurance deep in your soul that you are seen, you are loved, you are held, and you are His. And that truth, that reality, is a far greater treasure than all the successes the world could ever offer tonight. You may not feel like you have abundant grain and wine in your life. Your circumstances may not feel prosperous or easy, but you can have this greater joy. You can have it right now, because the light of His face is shining on you. The presence of God is with you. Let this truth settle over you now like a warm, comforting blanket. My joy is not found in my circumstances. My joy is found in God's presence. He has filled my heart with a peace that the world cannot understand and cannot take away. This deep, quiet joy is my strength and my rest tonight. Feel that gentle, steady joy now. It is here for you. It is a gift from a loving Father. Open your heart and receive it. And now, from this place of security and quiet joy, we arrive at the final promise. The reason you are here, we have walked together on this journey through Psalm for tonight. You have brought your distress honestly before God. You have identified and released the world's noise and its lies. You have remembered the profound truth that you are set apart and that you are always heard. You have stilled your heart, offered your worries as a sacrifice, and bathed in the healing light of His face. And it all leads to this final, beautiful, powerful promise. This is the culmination of the entire prayer. Let it be the last thought that you hold tonight. Listen so carefully, so gently. In peace I will lie down and sleep. Let's hear it again. Let every single word be a balm to your soul. Let's take them one by one. In peace, not in turmoil, not in anxiety, not in wrestling or striving or fighting your own thoughts, but in peace, the deep, settled peace that comes from being fully known and fully loved, the peace that comes from trusting a God who is in control, even when your life feels out of control. This peace is not something you have to create. It is here. It is available to you right now. In this moment, it is a gift. I will. This is a decision. It is a gentle act of faith. It is you. choosing to cooperate with the peace that God is offering you. It is not "I hope I might fall asleep" or "I wish I could stop worrying." It is a quiet, confident declaration of intent. I will. You are deciding right now to let go. You are choosing to enter into rest. You are giving yourself permission. Lie down. This is what you are doing right now. This is the posture of complete surrender. Your body is already in the position of rest. Now, you are simply inviting your mind and your spirit to join it. Lie down in every sense of the word. Lay down your burdens. Lay down your racing thoughts. Lay down your fight. You don't have to hold the world together for the next 8 hours. You can lie down and sleep. This is the destination. Sleep. It is not an enemy to be conquered. It is not a test you can fail. It is a gift to be received. It is God's beautiful, brilliant design for your restoration, for your healing, for your renewal. He is inviting you into it now. It is safe to go there. It is good to go there. Let us repeat this promise as your own. Let it be a holy lullaby for your soul. In peace, I will lie down and sleep. Again, let it sink deeper. In peace, I am lying down and I will sleep. One more time as a final surrender. Peace is here. Rest is here. It is time to sleep. You have permission to let go now. You have permission to drift off. You have done enough. You are enough. And as you drift, hold on to this final, anchoring truth. Why? Why can you lie down in peace and go to sleep? How is this possible when worries still exist in the world? The song gives us the final, most comforting reason. This is the foundation upon which all of your rest is built. This is the truth that holds you. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Listen to the absolute certainty in those words. Listen to the exclusivity of them. You alone, Lord. Your safety tonight does not come from having a locked door. It does not come from having a healthy bank account. It does not come from having a perfect plan for tomorrow. Those things are good, but they are fragile. They can fail. They are temporary. True, deep, soul-level safety, the kind that allows for profound rest, comes from God alone. He is the only one who can truly guard your heart and your mind. He is the only one whose watch never ends, whose power never fails, whose love for you never falters. Your safety is not in your own hands tonight. And what a relief that is. It is in His. And there is no safer, more secure place in the entire universe to be. And what does He do for you? He makes you dwell in safety. To dwell is so much more than just a brief visit. To dwell is to live, to reside, to make your permanent home. This is not a promise that you can visit a safe place for a little while. This is the promise of a permanent residence. You live under the shadow of His protection. Your soul's address is in the heart of God's safety, even when you are unconscious in sleep. You are dwelling there. You are safe. You are home. You are not just passing through safety tonight. You live there. It is your true home. Anxiety is the unwelcome visitor. Fear is the intruder. But your true, eternal home is a place called divine safety. Let this be the final shield around your mind and heart tonight as you begin to drift. Hold on to this truth. God alone is my safety. I am dwelling in His care tonight while I sleep. He is awake. He is watching over me. I am completely, utterly, perfectly safe in His love. I live in His safety. There is nothing you need to guard against, for He is your God. There is nothing you need to fear, for He is your protector. You are safe, completely and eternally safe. And now, rest. Dear one, just rest. The journey is complete. The prayer has been prayed. All that is left now is to receive the gift of peace, the gift of rest, the gift of deep, restorative sleep. You are heard. Your heart is seen. Your burdens have been laid down. You are set apart. You are cherished. You are dwelling in safety. Let the peace of God, which transcends all human understanding, guard your heart and your mind as you sleep. In peace, you will lie down. In peace, you will sleep. You are safe. You are loved. You are held. Now, rest. Sleep now. If this psalm brought you calm tonight, I invite you to return again tomorrow night. This space will always be here for you, a quiet refuge in the storm. You're welcome to subscribe quietly and let more of God's peace find you again soon.